Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our second Crossword Con. You can cheer. It's good. This is not a recording. I can pause when you cheer. I'm Brooke Husic, Puzzmo's Crossword editor, director of this conference. If we haven't met, I hope to meet you during the break or at our gathering afterwards. No crossword puzzle is neutral. Every crossword has a take on what words are real, what facts are true, and what is reasonable to expect solvers to know. It is my view that crossword programs masquerade as arbiters of intellect by portraying a biased subset of culture as general knowledge, or not correcting you when you mistake it for general knowledge, and perhaps as a consequence, decide that crosswords are not for you because you did not know the regional, or upper class, or whitewashed, or cisnormative, or ableist content. It was this realization that every crossword has a stance and therefore has power that led me to start making my own crosswords. And it wasn't long before I started dedicating the better part of my energy to helping others prioritize their stances in the creation of the art form that we're all here today to discuss. It is my goal, as the editor of Puzzmo's Crossword, that constructor voice is prioritized. Of course, I am always thinking about every individual puzzle and its particular stance. The highest compliment I have ever received as an editor was that a constructor, worried that the editing process would make their puzzle sound less like them, ultimately felt that being edited led to their puzzle sounding more like them. But one cannot simply optimize each puzzle for its constructor's voice. A venue is most effective when its ensemble of puzzles engenders an overall feeling of trust and reliability for its solvers, who every day come to Puzzmo and see a new crossword puzzle, perhaps by an unfamiliar author, perhaps with some secret trick they've never previously encountered. Every constructor, therefore, by undergoing the editing process, sacrifices a little bit of their stance for my stance, or for Puzzmo's stance. So what are we giving constructors in return for this sacrifice? We give them a platform, but I don't think that absolves us from a responsibility to further honor their work. Raise your hand if you've written a crossword that's been published at Puzzmo. Let's go. Thanks, everyone. I hope you send me more. One of the first things I did when I joined Puzzmo was design the contract that everyone who just raised their hand has signed. I want to tell you a little bit about it because it does three things that I've rarely, if ever, encountered at any mainstream outlet where I have published my own crosswords. First, we pay you when we accept your puzzle. It does not make sense that you should wait for me to do my work in order to get paid for yours. Second, we hold publication rights for 2 years, not indefinitely, and those 2 years are from acceptance, not from publication. It's on me to run your puzzle on a reasonable timeline, and it should not be stuck in limbo if I don't. Third, we pay royalties for reruns. All of you are now the hopefully proud owners of a Puzzmo crossword book. For every rerun in your book, the constructor was paid again for the reprint of their puzzle. And finally, when your crossword is published, you may find that Puzzmo's attribution conventions are more constructor-forward than you're used to. Every name on our byline links to a constructor's profile and all the puzzles they published with us, and often links to crosswords they published at other places. When you finish solving the puzzle, you'll see the constructor's notes, which at Puzzmo we consider canonically part of the crossword, not something you have to travel to a site or a blog for. At Puzzmo, we try to make all our games human, and that very much includes the crossword. I spend most of my workday in contact with constructors whose puzzles are at various stages of editing, and with the solvers who post on our Discord, and nearly all of this communication happens asynchronously. It's amazing to be here today, both in person in New York City and virtually on Twitch, having live conversations that we normally have in threads and email chains. So many of us talk about crosswords on a daily basis, and today we can do it here together, which I think enables us to do it on a larger, more serious scale, which has always been my goal with CrosswordCon. For our program this morning, I've selected speakers and panelists who are thinking critically about what the future may hold for crossword puzzles in both technological and cultural contexts. Our world is changing, and so is the crossword. Its contents, the software we use to make it, the people who create it, and the people who have the power to say yes or no to those creators being published. Thanks.